All right, folks, it is February 4th, 2025, and in tonight's update, we are going to talk about how ready to run XRP is. This session is going to be a big one. We got a lot to cover. I want to get right on into it because I want to get through my update. I do want to take comments and questions and see how you guys are doing out here, but I got to tell you right now, the XRP is showing strength on display, closing the day above $2.50. And this is a level that we've never traded at before in the history of XRP. And I was just thinking about this as I was coming on here tonight. We have to really think, about these things and compare them relatively. XRP is at a relative all-time high. And let me explain. XRP only went up above $3 for about a day in 2018. After it went up above $3, it busted up the exchanges. They delisted in South Korea. It popped the XRP bubble. David Schwartz says that the real all-time high was probably only about $2.80. David Schwartz says that the real all-time high was probably less than $3. So please understand that not many people were even able to sell the top at $3 in 2018. Now, folks are complaining because the markets have come back down, but that's why I'm reminding you here. Take a step back, get yourself some perspective, zoom out of your 5-minute chart, and maybe you have to put your big boy or big girl pants on too, and recognize that XRP relatively is at a new all-time high, trading and closing above $3 for the first time ever. It's never closed 16 days above $3, and that's exactly what it just did. Folks are confused right now about how these markets work. A lot of new people coming in. Similar to myself, I only invested in myself and my business before I invested in cryptocurrency, starting with Bitcoin, moving to XRP, thank God. And many people don't understand that when you pump up 600%, there's the possibility that you could come down, 10, 20%. That would actually be healthy. That would be normal. But it did take the largest liquidation event in the history of cryptocurrency, biggest liquidation event ever, to take XRP back below $2, which is why before that I was so confident that we were never going to go. And I didn't care if we did go. I just was trying to hold the line, speak it into existence. And it took the largest liquidation event in the history of crypto to take it below $2. To me, that's bullish. To me, that's a sign of how well XRP is holding up. And when I compare relative all-time high, when I compare relatively the last time we traded above $3, it was nothing like we just did. You had an opportunity for 16 days, if you, and even a few other days if you count, the wicks and for a few hours we were above $3. You probably have even more time when XRP was above $3. This has never been done in XRP's history. This is a relative all-time high. When David Schwartz himself says that XRP's all-time high was really probably less than $3 because the Korean exchanges got so out of whack. Their currency was doing so bad and there was so much demand. And so once again, just like it's happening right now on the XRP chart, the spot orders are what's coming in here on XRP. The spot orders in Korea overwhelmed the systems. The Korean dollar, the Korean won was doing poorly. And then out of the middle of nowhere, CoinMarketCap just delists these Korean exchanges, the same exchanges where a bunch of activity is taking place right now for XRP. Now, this time around, it's different in the sense that we have way more exchanges with XRP available. And what we're observing is that this is spot buying coming in, holding the $2 floor. I mean, we went below $2 for 10 minutes. It doesn't even count. Most people weren't even able to trade it. Most people, if you took a 10-minute nap, you missed it. Literally. So, we are holding, we just closed above 250. This is a range where maybe we can establish some structure. I'll show you the XRP chart real quick as we get started. Before I do, if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell. You got to get tapped in with us. We're going to bring you the updates that you need every single day. And we're talking current events, financial markets, tying it all together so that you can actually make real investments with conviction and not be rolling around blind through this chaos that's taking place. Here's your XRP chart, and you can see what I'm looking at, which is a structure here that we've never built out before, trading 16 days above $3. We've never done it, ever. Okay, we just had back-to-back all-time high monthly closes. We just had the largest liquidation event in the history of crypto is what it took to break our structure and to send us down to $1.70. Nobody was able to pick it up at $1.70. Maybe some of you guys got in the $1.70 to $1.80 range. I'd be curious, did anybody pick up at $1.70, maybe $1.71? How low can you go? That was a classic back in the day, wasn't it? They get out the bar. How low can you go? And but I have bad flexibility, so I wasn't able to do that one. Too tall, too lanky. We just closed above 250. I don't know what people are complaining about. I really don't. 3 months ago, what was your bag worth? Come on. And, you get this crypto space that's so anxious to go to the moon and to get rich quick that we're begging and pleading, President Trump, please pump my bags. While this man is tasked with extinguishing the dumpster fire that was passed off to him. And I'm going to show you just how bad it is here to get started. And we got DC in full panic. And I'll tell you, we've already started winning. There's a whole lot of winning taking place right now, and it's just getting started. It's going to get a lot better if you've made the right investments. Doesn't matter if you voted for Trump. Doesn't matter if you like Trump. Doesn't matter what you think about his hair, how he looks, any of that. It doesn't matter. The number goes higher if you're positioned correctly, whether it be your XRP, whether it be your meme coin. The president of the United States just launched a meme coin. And this is where we're at in this new reality. Once again, bringing it back to XRP, building structure above $3. We've never done that. If you needed to take some profit above $3, you had 16 days to do so. And guess what? You're going to get another opportunity here soon because this bull run's not over. This thing's ready to pop. As I titled this episode here tonight, XRP is ready to run. If you think for 1 second that I'm going to sit back and we're not going to be as bullish, no. I told you that if the aliens come out, the XRP army is numb to it. We'll have CNN playing, or maybe, you won't have CNN playing, but we'll see on the news that the mothership comes over the 17 cities across America. 17 cities across America with motherships above them. And the XRP community is literally like the shirt I'm wearing right now, the bear sitting by the fireplace. We're going to take a sip of our adult beverage in one hand, and in the other hand, we will be buying the dip. You cannot stop the XRP army from continuing to grow. The truth is on our side. The most interesting story, quite possibly the most interesting story in financial markets in the past 100 years, this underdog story with Ripple and XRP, something that's so misunderstood. Now we are seeing the light. Now XRP is being set free. Later in this episode, you are going to see that the SEC has laid down their arms. I'm telling you tonight that this case is over. It is done. And I know folks that want to wait for the official headline. It's not over till it's officially over. I get it. By the time the headline comes out, it will be too late. This whole game in investing is about positioning yourself before the move. If you wait for the headline to hit, you're going to be too late. And so, is this case over in the sense of, should I invest in XRP? Should I hold my XRP? Should I maybe, get a little bit more XRP because it's about to rip? Because it's ready to run, because this case is over and institutional liquidity is about to pour into this asset. Not only did JP Morgan predict 8 billion inflows XRP year one, Van Eck offshoot, I forget what they call it, Market Vector, a platform where they're launching ETFs from, just launched a Mega 10 crypto index. XRP is the biggest allocation, but it's not the biggest allocation by a little bit. It's half the bag. So when I say that XRP is already being treated as a reserve, that XRP is the number one crypto in America, as I titled the episode here this morning, this is not me saying this. This is not you, the XRP army, saying this. This is the biggest institutions in the world. No. Watch what they do, not what they say. Van Eck was playing around like they weren't interested in crypto. And now it's the Mega 10 crypto index with XRP half the allocation. You better lock in right now. And if you're new here in this XRP game, welcome. Pleasure to have you. You better strap in. We have not seen anything like this ever in the history of this asset. And when you look from the fundamental basis at how much more we got to run, you better lock in. You better strap in. It's going to be bumpy. We never said it wasn't going to be bumpy. 49% crash is what XRP just did from $3.40 right up here all the way down to $1.70. This is why we say you better strap in. Let's get started here with this update tonight. I want to know how you guys are doing. Let me get a quick vibe check real quick before I go through the news. Have you shared out the stream yet? I'm fired up tonight. I've seen too much whining out there. Come on. What are you talking about? We got them in Congress trying to pat themselves on the back, talking about the internet of value. These are useless politicians that now want to grandstand crypto. That's the point you need to take home. Not the fact that the market went down because, once again, the market was expecting them to announce a Bitcoin reserve. And he said, we're talking about it, but it's not a done deal. We're still looking at it. And everybody that got their hopes up, then we sell off and then we have a poor reaction. Or is it really the market makers that are taking advantage of your emotions? Folks, we're going to get started here. Hope you guys are doing well. There's a lot of winning taking place. There's a lot. And when you see these little rats running around DC, crying, screaming, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a warning before I play the clips of Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer, DC in full panic. I'm going to give you a warning before I play it because it might hurt your ears to listen to these little guys squeal. Check it out. Hey, this is the point that I want to make, though, because everybody thinks, oh, I'm just a Trumpy cheerleader and I can't, the man can do no wrong in my eyes. No. The man could do a lot of great things. He can also mess up, too. And as I've been describing here, no matter how great Trump's going to be, he's got a serious problem on his hands. I'm interested to see how he solves this problem. He's already getting to work on a lot of stuff, but can he solve this problem? In 2025, 9.2 trillion of U.S. debt will either mature or need to be refinanced. The U.S. now holds 36.2 trillion worth of government debt, meaning 25.4% of the total is set to mature this year. Welcome to 2025. Welcome back to the White House, Mr. President. You have a $9.2 trillion problem, a debt bomb that's about to explode. And Kobesi letter says this is the real reason rates are rising. Let us explain. No, we've been breaking that down. But the point being, and then the question that I want to ask, and I want to know before we worry about if we're going to use Bitcoin to pay back the debt, is this even going to get paid? Are bondholders going to be told, hey, we're going to pay you a penny on the dollar. We're going to pay you a dime on the. Is anybody going to get paid on some of this debt? This is a $9 trillion problem. Rates are still high. There's no way to roll this over without busting this system up. This is just the government's problem. This doesn't roll down to credit card being at the all-time high, credit card balances being at all-time high. And now Josh Hawley, Republican Josh Hawley, and one other congressman want to propose a bill to cap it at 10%. Government doesn't need to get in the way. Yeah, it would be nice for the creditors to, only have a 10% limit on the debt. But that doesn't solve the problem. This is the one that I'm interested to see how Trump's going to fix. And before I worry about Bitcoin to pay back the debt, gold paying back the debt, are we even going to pay it back? That's the question that I got. Now, I forgot to lock the door. I know. Bye-bye, guys. I love you. I got it, babe. We got children up in here, and I forgot to lock the door. Folks, I lost my train of thought, but we're going to get right back into this. Hey, we're going to get right back into this here, folks. The point being, 9 trillion of debt set to mature this year. That's just the government's problem, not considering consumer, not considering retail, everything else. Credit card debt's all-time high. And now you're starting to see the disruption caused by fixing this issue. He said it was going to be painful. We understood it was going to be painful. We want to lean into it. We want to rip off the Band-Aid. And so now he's doing it. It's going to get bumpy. I'm not going to complain about a little pullback on XRP in the markets because weak hands are shaken out, because there's significant problems out here, right? This is understood. This is an overvalued stock market that needed to come down. It was waiting for an excuse. And the media, the mainstream media, and a certain group of people are more than happy to blame President Trump for that. But folks, this is just going to get started right here. Check it out. Chinese e-commerce stocks fall as the U.S. Postal Service suspends inbound parcels from China and Hong Kong. Letters and flats will not be impacted. So if you got a pen pal in China or Hong Kong, you're good to go. You can still reach out to your pen pal. But the packages, if you send them a gift for Valentine's Day, you're going to have to keep it in a flat, okay? This is happening right now. We're just moving. I mean, it's happening so quickly. The CIA has just offered their entire workforce the option to quit in exchange for 8 months' pay. CIA on the chopping block. EPA on the chopping block. Around 1,100 EPA employees received an email saying that they could lose their jobs immediately. EPA. Elon asks if the Doge should audit the IRS. Well, hey, we should just get started right there while simultaneously also doing the Fed. While also doing the Fed at the same time. Yeah, absolutely. So we're getting started here. We got the CIA, we got the EPA, we got the Department of Education, and now we're going to take over Gaza. I mean, folks, this thing is moving quickly. Trump says the United States will take over the Gaza Strip and create an environment for housing. Let's run the clip.
The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
Somebody's got to take control, and Trump's leaning in. And like I said, whether you like it or love it, whether I like it or love it, whether I'm offended or support it, it's happening. And you got to step in front of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. You realize that somebody's going to be given the government contract to go clear that. I mean, military will move in first. But yeah, I mentioned this in the live show the other night. If you're a business in Canada right now, what was it? The premier of Ford, one of your guys up there, Ford, I forget what he is. He said that they're no longer going to give any procurement or government contracts to American companies. Now, I had already mentioned that there's going to be a massive disruption and opportunity for those who can take advantage of the government contracts that are going to come up, because they're going to come in and they're going to cut and slash all that corruption, all that fraud, all that fat's going away. And if you can show up and provide real value, this is your time. Now, if you're a Canadian, obviously the tariff war has paused for 30 days, but the Canadians have already made their move. It's only going to be Canadian. And, you know, Ford says that they're only going to be hiring. And that was billions of dollars of government contracts. So this is your opportunity if you step in front of it. If you get, shout out to my Canadians. If you go to where the puck's going to go, right? Not where it's at now. You got to go where it's going to go, right? Or whatever the saying is from, what is that, Gretzky? I used to play hockey back in the day, but unfortunately I had to quit playing hockey as soon as it got fun and went to contact because I had open heart surgery when I was 5 years old. And so the docs won't let me play, contact sports. So I missed out on football, really bummed about that. But I had to quit hockey as soon as it got good too. And so you got to go to where the puck's going to be. You got to go to where the momentum's heading. You got to get on board the train. It's just like XRP. You know, folks have had years to get on board the XRP train, and they're still going to end up missing it. Now, this is what's happening. Trump's taking control. Elon's on it. He's got a group of developers working round the clock while the other side is debating, oh, is that a healthy work week? I saw the clip. They're bringing in some special beds so that the developers that are working for Elon and Doge, you know, can basically just work around the clock, take little power naps, get back to it. While the other side is debating, you know, oh, well, you know, is that a 40-hour work week? Are they getting benefits or what? Who's getting paid? How is this working? There's nothing stopping it. Nothing will stop what is coming. And when I see these little rats squirming around, it's a sign to me that we must be moving in the right direction. Now, I'm going to give everybody a warning. We got Elizabeth. I got a plan for that Warren. And I'm only going to play about a minute of it because it's a painful listen. Okay, beware. And then we're going to follow it up with Chuck Schumer. So you might need to turn down the volume a notch. I don't know. A screeching Elizabeth Warren says Elon Musk is seizing power from the American people by not allowing Congress members to waste taxpayer money. That's where we're at right now. How deep is the corruption when these guys are coming? And really, you can see what the problem is right away. Because she's going to say, Elon Musk bought this election and he's coming to cash his check. Versus the big banksters who back Elizabeth Warren buying the election and getting to cash the check. Now, once again, I mean, are they both two evils? Elon Musk, the big banksters, other big interests that I won't even get into. You guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, pick your evil, pick your poison. I'm picking Elon Musk. I am. Because at least we're starting, everything's on the chopping block. And we're addressing some real issues. Is it going to be perfect? Is it going to be the best? I don't worship Trump. I don't worship Elon. Once again, I'm here to take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. And I'm here to let all truth be revealed. And I'm here to fight until I die to give my children that busted into the office here the best opportunity here in America and for our planet to have a level playing field. That's what I'm here for. And when I see these crooks screaming and screeching, we're on to something. I'll tell you that much. Here we go.
All right. In the building behind me, Elon Musk is seizing power from the American people. We are here to fight back. A few months ago, Elon Musk spent $280 million to buy an election for Donald Trump.
Now, I got to pause this. I wish Elon would have bought the election, or at least helped out in the election, for John Dean to actually take out Elizabeth Warren. But if she thinks that his $280 million that he invested is something, she better strap in and lock in, because we know how much money Ripple's got, along with other industry leaders within crypto. And that's just the crypto group, right? And we know how much Elon's got. And so if she thinks the 280 million from Elon is a problem, boy, there's a lot more where that came from. Let me tell you.
Now, Elon Musk is here to collect on his investment. Yes. He is here to seize power for himself. We are here to fight back. Yes.
Okay. I can't. That's enough. She's going to fight back, okay? Remember, Elizabeth, I got a plan for that. Warren, that was the slogan. One of them. One of the slogans of her failing campaign for president. And so this is the problem. The people that bought them out, right, aren't the ones that get to come in and cash the check. The people that actually had been buying out the government are being brought to the forefront. And that's what happened at that AI press conference with Donald Trump, is he brought Sam Altman, Larry Ellison, and the CEO of SoftBank up to the table. And I mean, you saw the way that he handled the CEO of SoftBank. I mean, that's how I used to pick on my little brothers. I mean, what are we talking? And by the way, I did see President Trump. He helped Prime Minister Netanyahu from Israel was here in D.C. today. I was watching a clip of President Trump scooting in his seat for Prime Minister Netanyahu. I mean, it's hilarious, man. It reminded me of, me scooting in the seat there for my children. It was pretty funny to watch. And so this is their whole tantrum. What it's all about is that their special interests didn't win this election, are getting called out. And that's exactly what Trump's doing by bringing these guys to the forefront to give a press conference and explain, what are you going to do here? What have you guys been doing? You guys are the big shots in AI. Let's talk about what you're doing. You guys are the big shots in some other stuff too. I'm not going to mention it here. You know what I'm talking about. What's been going on with that technology? How does that work? And now that we did the sovereign wealth fund yesterday, we might have to get a little piece of that action too. That's going to be interesting. Chucky Schumer is now screaming off the top of his lungs, "We will win." Oh boy, folks. Warning.
I'm going to stand with you in this fight, and we will win. 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 We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
My apologies. Holy cow. How's that program working out for them? You know what I'm saying? How's that been working out for you guys? God, we caught them all. This is about to get so good. This is about to get so good, folks. If you haven't already, please smash it. Please tap it. We got a lot more going on here. Paul says you're going to start seeing a bunch of weird stories like this now, where private companies magically can't pay their employees, which should tell you where their actual funding came from. Remember, we just shut down U.S. aid. Big slush fund. It's shut down. It's done. Staff at Politico did not get paid for their latest pay period. The company sent several emails to employees saying it believes that there was a technical error and is looking into how to fix these issues. Now, maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Politico did just have a little glitch, a little error, right? It's like those XRP price glitches. That's nothing to look at. Don't worry about when you saw XRP at 50,000. That was just a glitch. Same thing here. Nothing to see, nothing to worry about. Just so happens to coincide when the U.S. aid and other government programs, and like I said, these government contracts, if you're a real business and can bring real value, I mean, these contracts are going to be for the taking, because they're going to fire and cut and slash their way to restoring this government back to common sense. Now, here's where we're at, though. We're going to rotate into cryptocurrency now, and you're going to see the SEC is waving the white flag. We're going to talk about that in a second. But despite that taking place here, there's still some issues that we got to fix. There's still some things here that we're fighting, and we got to continue applying pressure, unfortunately. I wish that we could say it's all hunky-dory, it's all great, we're going to get all rich, but just by sitting with our feet kicked up. No. We're going to have to fight like hell, actually. We still are. Empower Oversight sues the SEC for the release of Crypto Conflicts Probe. This was the Office of Inspector General who concluded this internal investigation last year, and we've never seen it. So Fred Rispoli comments, he says, happy that Empower is doing this, and a huge shout out to Empower Oversight. They were included in the XRP documentary right here, XRP Unleashed, rigged from the start. Huge shout out to Empower Oversight working with the XRP Army, decentralized justice. But folks think that the red folder's over. Folks think that the red folder's done. folks think that us applying pressure is over with, and it's not. We're not even close to being done. And it's sad that we even have to do this. Why are Pierce and Uyeda fighting the release? See, there's things here that need to be done now. If Trump and Elon can start cutting and slashing and auditing now, why has the SEC not released this Office of Inspector General report on Bill Hinman's conflict of interest? It needs to be delivered now. And unfortunately, Empower Oversight, and thank God we got folks like this that are still in DC fighting the good fight. And we got a lot of cleaning up to do. This thing's far from over. But I love to see that they're doing this. It's sad that it has to be done. But a quick notice to everybody out there, we need to be tagging. I mean, it just has to go to decentralized justice. It has to be this way because they're stalling, they're dragging their feet, and now they're forcing us to sue them once again. I'm going to have to get another folder just so that we can get this, this report on conflicts of interest from a guy who's no longer at the SEC. And now that Hester Pierce and Uyeda are here, Gary Gensler's gone. Let's get moving. Why was this not included in the new SEC agenda here? Now, the good news is that the SEC is reducing crypto enforcement efforts, and they are resigning over 50 lawyers working on cryptocurrency cases. The most recent Bearable Guy 2024 update. Right here. I know you guys can barely see it, but this is the hidden hand waving the white flag out of the castle. This is the SEC surrendering. This case is over. Just like Stuart Alderati said, this case is nothing but noise. You no longer need to track it. Ripple asked for April date for their appeal brief response. They don't really care. What they're working on right now is settlement. What they're working on right now is conclusion. And similar to the Office of Inspector General report, we'd love to see that conclusion today. We'd love to see it done now. But what we can see right here today is that they are moving in a different direction. SEC launches new crypto task force website to provide clarity for crypto laws. So they have a new website here talking about clarity for crypto. We get the AI crypto czar David Sachs hosting a press conference today. A lot of folks say it's a big nothing burger, but it's because they're zoomed in on a 5-minute chart and they want to get rich today instead of zooming out and understanding that these things take time. I understand that we wish, that they would have said yes to a Bitcoin reserve. We wish that they would have said XRP is going to the. We wish they would have said everything, that your crypto is going to pump 10x. I wish that we all wish that. Okay, take a step back and understand we got to save our country here too. And what you're seeing them acknowledge is not just pure Bitcoin, it's Internet of Values being mentioned. It's digital assets are being mentioned. And when it comes to a Bitcoin reserve, he said, we're still evaluating it. That's all it's ever been, is in the evaluation stage. We were ahead of our skis as a cryptocurrency space. And we want to blame other people instead of blaming ourselves for getting ahead of our skis and getting a little too excited about how quickly some of these things were going to move. Now, like I said, look around. There's things that are happening faster than I thought were going to happen. Doge is coming in. We got some crazy cracked out developers that are working around the clock to figure out how inefficient our government is. That's what I love to see. Yes, I would love to see my XRP higher, but in the past 3 months, my XRP is still up, 400 or 500%? Some of my portfolio on XRP is still up 600-700%. Some of my portfolio is up 10x, and some of your guys' portfolio is up 10x that we scooped up XRP, at a quarter for years, 50 cents for years. And folks are getting impatient. Take a step back. Listen to the words out of Stu's mouth carefully. It's nothing but noise. They are going to voluntarily dismiss this lawsuit. Give them some time here. It's coming. Now, I'm not interested in giving them any more time on that Office of Inspector General report, and I really don't want to give them any more time on this SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, but it's coming. It is inevitable. And I'm not going to stop saying that. And I'm not going to stop saying that the case is over, because it is. It's just about doing some final points. Okay? Jack Dorsey, digital asset investor, shares this clip. Was the plan all along to run Bitcoin on the XRP Ledger to fulfill the 4 Satoshi's original vision? If that's where this goes, they may need to build more mental hospitals just to house the Bitcoin maxis. And we're going to be collecting those Bitcoin maxi tiers, aren't we? Now remember, Jack Dorsey, he's the one that just said recently that if all Bitcoin ever ends up becoming and being is digital gold, it is failed. Bitcoin will be a failure if it is nothing but digital gold. Listen to this clip. You're going to hear him explain the current problems with Bitcoin. Don't take it from me. I'm not trying to beat up Bitcoin. But if you want to be a grown adult investor, you have to be willing to ask the tough questions of your investments. If you're in business, you got to be willing to ask the tough questions of yourself in your business. If you're in a relationship, you got to be willing to ask the tough questions. Jack Dorsey, say what you want about him. He has some interesting points about Bitcoin. Let's let it play. Check it out.
Stop it. What would stop it from being used from payments at this point? Or what would relegate it to just being digital gold, in your opinion?
Well, no one uses it as payments. Like, that's it. And if it's not accessible in that sense, like if people don't understand how to use it as payments, if it's not easy, if merchants aren't accepting it, all these things will compound into people just not seeing it as relevant money, and instead of just being this digital gold rock.
Do you think that it's a lack of development? Because we have things like Lightning and Fedi and other kind of layer 2, more payments focused protocols that live on top of the Bitcoin base layer. But is it more of a, it needs to be used question to you, or do you still think that there's far more to build?
There's always more to build. I just think it's not accessible to people. Number one issue is like people don't have Bitcoin and they have no reason to buy it other than the investment value. Number two is when they have Bitcoin, where can they actually use it if they can use it? So there's a lot of chicken and egg problems, and I think many of them are being worked on. But ultimately it has to come down to the fact that like people value this thing for a reason and they want to use it. So I do think, obviously, I think the investment vehicle is a good first step. We built a Cash App, we built a Bitcoin exchange in Cash App for that very purpose, because it's the fastest and easiest way to get people access to Bitcoin. But the next step is the hard one, which is like, how do they utilize it instead of just like watching it go up and down? How do they actually use it to exchange value? And how does that benefit like a merchant? How does it benefit an individual? So that's what we're focused on now.
And so when you take a step back from the Bitcoin maxi delusions and you're willing to actually be critical, I think that Jack has some great points right there. And we saw the solution was Bitcoin Cash. Roger Ver and some other developers and miners for Bitcoin, they had the solution. It was to create bigger block sizes, and they've created that peer-to-peer electronic cash that is not viewed as digital gold, or at least it's viewed as digital gold as equally as it's used as a medium of exchange. And like you said, if they can't get this done, Bitcoin becomes an irrelevant currency, an irrelevant medium of exchange. And that's the path that it's heading down. And so you're forced to basically get people to buy into this story, this narrative of a store of value, which it can be difficult to do. And we know why, Bitcoin and how Bitcoin's been propped up and gotten to the point that it's gotten. It's nothing against, Bitcoin and the role that it's played. But what is the solution? The ironic part about this is that the one solution that we have available as well, along with Bitcoin Cash, is to just put Bitcoin on the XRP Ledger. And I saw today that an old clip from 2013 with Chris Larson was circulating around X. And it was showing Chris Larson back in 2013 moving Bitcoin on the XRP Ledger. This is something that we had figured out in 2013. Bitcoin developers left to go create Bitcoin Cash later in 2017 when they learned that the Bitcoin core developers were going to resort to censorship and some dirty deals to stop them from growing the block size. But we had it figured out back in 2013 when Ripple came about, and at the time it was OpenCoin, and he describes the XRP as ripples at the time. This is 2013, Chris Larson. And so he showed in a presentation real time moving Bitcoin across the XRP ledger in seconds at no cost. We've had the solution since 2013, but instead of wanting to collaborate with us, the Bitcoin group that's still in control and really controls the Bitcoin narrative wants to have nothing to do with XRP and is openly attacking XRP. It's not even like you guys can coexist. They want us removed off the face of the planet, basically. I mean, seriously. Instead of coexist, it's like the bumper sticker coexist. Instead of peace, love, and harmony, and we can coexist and we could work and they could flow on our ledger, it's no problem. We got plenty of room. We can scale up. It's not a big deal. Come on in. Just like our good friend Brad Keim says, come on in. You know, plenty of liquidity over here. We'd love to help you out. We've been doing it for the past 10 years. We were ready to do it back in 2013. But instead, they'd rather shoot themselves in the foot and not only not allow us to just coexist over here, but actually attack us and say we need to be shut down and say that we can't be included in the conversations. And I mean, they remind me of what we just watched, Elizabeth Warren and Chucky Schumer, whining, crying, and screaming. It reminds me of what my children do when they don't get their way sometime. But all that whining, all that crying, all that screaming, all that chanting, we will win. We won't rest. You guys don't know what work is. What are you talking about? You won't rest. You wouldn't make it one day how we hustle. And you ain't sitting next to the president of the United States and cry all you want. You're not going to stop it. And here we are, still with our open arms, our open hands, saying, come join us. You know, I was thinking about going to that Bitcoin conference in Vegas, because we're going to be going down to the XRP Las Vegas conference, of course. If you guys haven't got your tickets, I encourage you to do so. It's going to sell out for sure. And it's going to be an absolute riot down there. The XRP family knows how to turn up when it's 50 cents. Just think of what we're going to be doing at $5. Speaking that into existence too. Maybe we'll be even higher. We'll see. But I was thinking about going down a little bit early. The Bitcoin conference takes place 3 days before. It's the 3 days leading up to XRP Las Vegas. And I was thinking, man, that'd be fun. I could go down there, you know, go do some reporting on the ground from the Bitcoin conference. And we could kind of go to be a liaison, you know, of the XRP community. Reach out our hands, open arms. Let's get together and sing Kumbaya. And I joke about that, but seriously, let's get together. Let's be nice. I don't think that they'd be accepting, though. I think I'd be kicked out. I was just talking about this with somebody today. I said I'd go down there and I'd buy my tickets. I'd buy my hotel tickets and I'd be out a few $1,000 after a first day. They pick me out and they say, get him out of here. Get him gone. So I was joking about, well, maybe I could do an undercover. Do a little undercover operation. That would be fun, wouldn't it? I'm going to have to get me the same cameras that James O'Keefe has, you know, those hidden cameras. And I'll get me, what should I do to pull off the Bitcoin look? I can grow out my hair and grow out my beard a little bit. What else can I do to fit in with them? I wear a Bitcoin shirt. I definitely won't bring wifey because I don't know. Do they know how to get a girlfriend? Or I'm just kidding. That's high school. I shouldn't be. I should be talking like that, huh? Do they know how to? Do they know what they're doing? I don't know. Oh boy. Should I a nose ring? Yes. Shout out to the nose rings in the chat. I don't know if we have any, but yeah, okay. Oh, I'm so scared of no piercings. No, I don't have any tattoos either. Oh, maybe I could get a fake neck tattoo, maybe a Bitcoin, or I don't know. Well, can you imagine me going undercover at the Bitcoin conference, just blowing smoke up their butt all day? Just yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. Just all day long. Oh boy, but the problem is I know they'd find me and they'd out me And like I said, I really was thinking about it. You know, why shouldn't we collab? Have a great time. Let's merge the parties together. We'll have a coming together party the night before XRP Las Vegas. They'll all still be in town. XRP Vegas folks will be arriving. We have a little meetup. Have a little good time. Let's do a deal. I don't think that they're open to it. But it's just funny because you see Jack Dorsey's now bringing this up. People that are willing to actually, take a look at this thing with any sort of common sense, any sort of critique of Bitcoin and have a real conversation about how to get more adoption and more people into crypto. That's the thing that's been so frustrating is that, like Brad Garlinghouse says, we're trying to win together. And you guys are like pulling down the people instead of being alongside us on the front lines, fighting the good fight, linking up arms here, standing our ground and holding the line and gaining ground together. You guys are back here stabbing us in the back while we're trying to work together with you guys. Now, speaking of Bitcoin and network struggles, gotta say, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Today, the XRP Ledger did go down. It didn't go down. It actually, it basically is going down. It halted. The XRP Ledger halts when consensus cannot be reached. This is what it does by design. This happened today for about an hour. So for about an hour, you were not able to send any XRP transactions through the ledger. Now, we got to be very, very clear here. Never were your assets at risk because nothing on the ledger was happening. So when folks ask about the lights going out, the power going out, systems going down, what's going to happen with my XRP? It's going to be right where you left it. Your keys are not compromised. Nothing in that sense is ever jeopardized. Your meme coins, I know you guys are worried about your meme coins. God forbid I lost my Bitcoin maxi tiers. Good thing there's a lot of them coming out still. We can go collect some more. Your memes were safe. Your NFT, everything was safe. Your XRP was safe. Nothing happened on the ledger. It halted. Boom. So what happens is basically all the ledgers, all the validators, when they can't come to a consensus, they just halt it. And then they pick up right where they left off. So think about lights go out, 10 days of darkness. We come back together. We flip the switch back on. Our XRP is going to be right where we left it. Now, what price will it be at? Oh, that could get interesting. That's a different rabbit hole. XRP Ledger was down for less time than it usually takes for a Bitcoin transaction. So you can say that the XRPL did a Bitcoin for a bit. That's a good one there from Panos. We did pull a little Bitcoin today. Okay. David Schwartz with the update. The network is now recovering. We don't know exactly what caused the issue yet. Super preliminary observation. It looked like consensus was running, but validations were not being published, causing the network to drift apart. Validator operators manually intervened to choose a sane starting point after the last ledger that anyone could have seen as fully validated. Like I said, they pick up right where they left off from the fully validated ledger. The last ledger that was fully validated, that's where we pick up from and begin publishing validations from there. This can be done without coordination, but it's always better to get second and third opinions. Once servers started seeing a few validations from a few sources, they were able to build enough consensus to pull the network over to a coordinated ledger stream after the last ledger the network managed to validate. This is all preliminary and might turn out to be wrong. He says, very few UNL operators actually made any changes, as far as I can tell, so it's possible the network spontaneously recovered. I'm not sure yet. And someone down here says, the first and only blockchain that can self-heal. Damn, XRP is amazing. He says, except it did also self-break, so I wouldn't celebrate the self-healing too much if it did in fact self-heal. So, I mean, David Schwartz, the creator of this ledger, he still doesn't really know what's up. These guys are working on it, and I have no concern. I have no worry about this. This is how it's designed to operate. And consider this fact that in the past 12 years that the XRP ledger has been around, this has literally happened less than a handful of times. I mean, since I've been invested in XRP, it's happened a few times maybe. And every time it does what it's intended to do. We just halt the network and we pick up where we left off. And funny enough, while the network was down, the price of XRP went up. And so we sit here and we ask ourselves, well, how does Solana keep on going up? Solana pumps after the network shuts down every week. And finally, the XRP Ledger did the same thing and the price of XRP was pumping while the XRP Ledger was halted. So finally, we got our moment. We'll get a full update on what happened here. And I'll tell you right now, guys, the usual fudsters will always jump on these opportunities. Anytime, one validator ends up leaving, or some random guy who's running a node in his basement says that he's shutting down. He's had it with Ripple. Ripple didn't fund his little NFT monkey project. And so he's shutting down his little node from mommy's basement. And the fudsters will share that out and say, oh, another validator's leaving the XRP Ledger. Meanwhile, it was just a little node, submitting some random transactions for his monkey NFT project. And I'm making a joke of monkey NFTs. Nothing wrong with your monkey NFTs. I hope you're doing well with your monkey NFTs. I'm just getting my point across that the main validators that we have are very good. I actually tweeted this out today. We have some of the best developers in the world running infrastructure on the XRP Ledger without getting incentivized at all. The only incentive is that they want a healthy ledger to work with. For their business, for their operations, for their investments, they want a healthy ledger. That's their incentive, nothing else. Think about that for a second. Every other blockchain system company has to pay. You got to pay to play. You got to pay to keep the systems up. You got to incentivize people to run validators. That's why proof of stake is so popular. And we got started with proof of work. Versus on the XRP Ledger, nobody's getting paid. Nobody has any incentive to run and validate and run infrastructure for this ledger. But they are, and they're just, and once again, this is organic, genuine building developer community versus these other networks where the only reason why people are there is because they're running a validator. And the only reason why they set up a validator is because they bought a bunch of the tokens and they want some exit liquidity. So they're going to make sure this network's running. They'll allow some proof of concepts and tests to happen with them. Get some exit liquidity, and then see you later. Versus on the XRP Ledger, you're only showing up here if you mean, business on the XRP Ledger. If you care about our ledger. No one's forcing you. It's a voluntary situation. Now, folks, come on. You try not to believe in the riddles. You try not to be the biggest conspiracy theorist, even though being a conspiracy theorist is paying off pretty damn well, I would say. I would say that much, that being a conspiracy theorist is paying off pretty handsomely. But how many coincidences before it's mathematically impossible, folks? So let me show you what I'm talking about. Saul retweets it. 1 in 365 shots happen every day. This is a Mr. Pool post from February 4th, 2021. Sorry, we are experiencing technical difficulties. How many coincidences before it is mathematically impossible? That is the question I ask you tonight. You don't want to believe in the bear. You don't want to believe in the riddlers. You don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. Well, holy smoke, it just might help you take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. And how is it possible? How is it possible? Is it random? It's just another coincidence? Life is just but a coincidence. We just float through randomly. Everything's random. Folks, I don't know. You guys explain it to me. I only got one more thing to show you, and then we're going to go rapid fire Q&A while I finish my adult beverage. I hope you guys are doing fantastic tonight. If you appreciate it, you know what to do. Steph is crypto. This is only the third time in XRP's history that we've seen the weekly hammer candle. How about that? I like the dramatic TA terms. The weekly hammer candle. Boy, did we get smacked down this week. The last two led to 2,000% moves. Now, I talked about this move in 2017. Somebody else in the XRP family had shared this chart with me. That back in 2017, XRP had gone from about $1.20 to 40 cents in a daily candle. And then 13 days later, it went to all-time high. Which is why when we got the crash down to $2, I was in the bathroom next door here giving my son a bath. And I was laughing out loud as I watched the charts go down to $2. So I was thinking, oh crap, people are going to be roasting me in the comments right now. but I was kind of asking for it because I said it was never going to go below $2. And I said, we're going to hold the line. And I tried to stand our ground. And the market maker magicians absolutely smacked us up. And I laughed about it, thinking about, oh, the chaos. And when we get to that position, where with everything going on, all the chaos around us, we can just sit by our fireplace, a big old smile on our face, roasting our marshmallows, sipping whatever you're sipping on. And we're watching our little rocket ship, still on its way to the moon, and the little king. Where's he at? Right there. Standing on the ground, just looking up at our little rocket ship. And we're nice and cozy, nice and comfy. Well, the new people, God bless them, we're trying to help them out. If you're new here, you got to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you stay tapped in with the real ones, because you need to be with us. If you were at all worried, you need to be with us, because there wasn't any worry over here. Once again, we knew that the crypto market was overvalued. We knew that the stock market was overvalued. We knew that we were having a real estate reset. It's about to happen. No, it's happening now. I'm seeing it in my market. I'm seeing it in other markets. The folks that I tune into for national real estate data are giving us the same thing. This is all due. And we knew what kind of dumpster fire that was being handed over to Trump. As I pointed out at the very beginning of this episode, Trump's getting to work quick. But one of the biggest problems that we have, if not the biggest, is that $9 trillion in debt that's set to mature this year, adding on to our $36 trillion in debt that we have already, adding on to the over $150 trillion in unfunded liabilities that we have, Social Security, Medicare, adding on to the fact that now our interest on our debt is larger than our defense spending. That's right. The largest military known to man is being funded by a government that has to spend more on interest than it now does on defense spending. This is what happens right before empires fall. Empires then get rebuilt. As I said in some previous updates, Trump knew that they were going to blame him for the stock market crashing. Trump knew that they'd be whining and crying and screeching and chanting, whatever they think they're doing to stop. He knew. And it's not stopping him. It's not stopping Elon. There's guys working right now, I guarantee you. There's guys working right now in the middle of the night to find out how inefficient our government is. And I don't know about you, but I like to see that. And guess what? Taxpayers aren't paying a dime. Taxpayers aren't paying a dime for it to happen. If you get out of the way, and I'm going to make one final point here before I open this up for Q&A. I saw some guy, he was a builder down in Florida, some builder bro. And he said that he had just recalculated how much it was going to cost him to get some lumber delivered down to Florida or wherever he was building at. And he said it was going to cost him, however much more. And that his margins were squeezed and he wasn't going to be able to make any money. I simply responded by saying, recalculate your margins without an income and payroll tax. Because if you're at the top bracket, you're talking 30, 40, 50%, depending on your state taxes. Some folks are paying 40, 50, 60% taxes on the money that they make, on top of the payroll taxes that their business has to pay. So before you give me and come to Twitter and whine and complain about, with these tariffs, my lumber's gone up a little bit. It's going to cost me way more to buy from an American company. Oh, what an idea. Nothing against the Canadian lumber companies and everything. Once again, I want free trade between us and Canada. Together we are stronger. But let's be serious about who's been carrying the load. I love my Canadians, but come on. Let's benefit. We both can benefit from each other. But I told the guy, recalculate your margin, pal, without income and payroll tax, and then come back to X and let's see what that margin was. I think you need to sharpen your pencil, because this is what's on the table. Yeah, the trade war might get a little bumpy. The tariffs might cause some disruption. Your overvalued stock portfolio is coming down, and guess what? It's going to come down more. and it was coming down whether or not Trump was here. So don't focus on blaming the big bad orange man. It was already overvalued from a fundamental perspective. We got to address these problems. It's going to be painful. We might as well rip the Band-Aid off. You know? Versus the alternative. Just whining and crying. Only letting mama peel that Band-Aid off slowly. Versus letting mama rip the Band-Aid off, smack you on the ass, and send you back out there. That's where we're at right now. And damn, does it feel good. And yes, XRP is going to go so much higher. Let's open it up. Rapid fire Q&A. How you guys doing tonight? I'm feeling great. This thing's moving. Without a doubt, the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. Are you on the right side of it? It's a simple question. How's the program working out? Questions, comments, rapid fire. I'm going to catch up on some super chats while we're doing it. I appreciate you guys so much. Yep. We'll check the charts here too. XRP at 250, holding 250. That's just fine. 250, that's fine. A lot of super chats. Let me catch up here. Vitamin 5 spot. Zach, the Sigma fam on XRPO says, join us. I love you guys in Sigma. I will say I love the Sigma memes. I love the Sigma culture. You guys are awesome. I've met a few of you guys are good folks. And yes, I will touch base. Dennis, thank you for the 100 spot. Bitcoin has a counterparty risk when it can't trade on its native DEX. Every layer you add is another step it must take to transact. Banks won't accept it. Yeah, exactly. Instead of being peer-to-peer electronic cash, to scale it up to still use it as cash, you need to rely on third parties, Lightning Network, etc. Centralized counterparty risk exposure is present. Absolutely. Prezi, thank you for the 1 spot. Appreciate that. Noble Tyrant, is it too late to buy XRP? I'm on a tight budget. If you're on a tight budget, you need to stay liquid, and you need to understand that this storm is still present. And yes, XRP is going to go higher, and it'd be very easy to just say throw money at XRP. But you need to understand that before XRP shot up, when XRP was still at 50 cents, I was sitting on cash because I knew a storm was here. And yeah, I could have bought, other cryptos at way cheaper. I could have, you always could have done something different. But I slept like a baby at night knowing that I had my bag of XRP packed. I had my other assets that I've made. I got my businesses that I get to wake up, and I enjoy waking up to go run them. And we're sitting on cash. That lets me sleep peacefully at night, right? And so if you're on a tight budget, don't overextend yourself by trying to get the XRP pump. If you have a chunk of change to play with, then yes, you could invest in XRP, and yes, XRP is going higher. But don't come back in 2 weeks and complain if it's not at, $10, because it's moving in that direction. The timeline has been extended now for 6 years plus. Artificially, naturally, there's been a lot that's taken place. Excuses don't get us paid, so I'm not going to give you excuses. As I said, answering that question, Noble Tyrant, I appreciate the super chat. Stay liquid right now and only invest what you can afford to lose. And invest in XRP if you have a long-term horizon. If you understand what it's intended to do, then you would know, and you wouldn't have to ask me if it's too late. If you have to ask whether or not it's too late, then you need to do more research. And if you haven't subscribed here, we got to make sure we subscribe, and we'll get you caught up to speed. But yeah, we're going higher. Absolutely. Did you see the slide that I just showed where we talked about XRP? The last time we had a weekly hammer candle on this chart, the last time in 2017 when we traded from $1.24 to 41 cents in a day, huge crash for XRP during the 2017 bull run. It was 13 days before we went to an all-time high. So is it too late? No. That's the answer. XRP on top of the crypto index, yes. Yes, Dennis, thank you for the super chat. Absolutely. Absolutely. Watch what they do, not what they say. Van Eck, Van Eck was one of the institutions that was pretending like they didn't really care to get involved in crypto all that much. And now they're going full steam. They've all flipped the switch. Look at the press conference that took place today with David Sachs. and some of these other politicians running around slapping each other on the back like they've done something yet. It's like, okay, we still don't have the bill passed. You're telling us in the first 100 days. See, the speed at which our Congress moves is not acceptable to me. Going on 3-week-long vacations every other month, that's not acceptable to me when you're working on behalf of the American people. And remember, these are the same politicians that are crying about developers who knows what they're on. They got special beds. And they're working 24/7, 365 to find government inefficiency. And they're complaining about that while they go take half the year off. And then we got these guys coming up on the press conference today, slapping each other on the back. They can't even talk about crypto. Well, you know, when this crypto thing first came about and we started working on it a few years ago, that Sam Bankman-Fried guy went bust and it wasn't looking too good. That's what, I'm paraphrasing, but that's what we were listening to. You know? And this is what we're dealing with. This is why we're not further along. This is why XRP is not at a higher price now. This is why we don't have regulations now. We're dealing with these guys that have been tasked with passing the bills that will set us in that direction. Well, that Sam Bankman-Fried, you know, it was looking troublesome. No, the reason why the Sam Bankman-Frieds have been created and are still present and still here in the cryptocurrency space is because we don't have regulations. You know, instead of going after the legitimate fraudsters and scammers, you guys are going after legitimate companies like Ripple. Holy smokes, let me catch up on our super chats. You guys made it rain. Property One Vegas, we are preaching tonight, baby. 58.90. That's a big check, Property One. I appreciate you, my friend. 1970 Legend, more free shipping to Australia, big $125 spot. Holy smokes. We're going to be shipping to Australia for free forever. Aussies in the chat, where are you? We haven't hit you with tariffs yet. We haven't hit you with tariffs yet, Australia, but you're on the table next. But the good news is that we can send merch to your land down under now. We can deliver it. And it might take some while. We're getting our first shipments to Australia out now. So please be patient with you. Please be patient with us. But yeah, we've been dealing with the jacked up shipping here in the States between the weather, the winter weather, the storms, the snowstorms, and then also the fires was being used for an excuse down in California too. And yeah, we've had the Postal Service has been messing up some of our orders. My apologies. Some of this has been completely out of our control. We had one that was a few weeks. Packages just sitting in random spots. We could see it on the tracker. It's just sitting in Kentucky for some reason. Not supposed to be in Kentucky. But the snowstorm just messed up and jacked up everything over the past few weeks. It's getting back to normal now. But I'm interested to see how long it takes to deliver to Australia. If you guys have any questions too, just hit us up, merch@zachrector.com. That's merch@zachrector.com for any questions or inquiries on the merch. 1970 Legend, you're such a real one, brother. You're such a real one. Thank you. Sequema Ka, thank you for the 5 spot. Given 180 days to propose regs by July, Fed now launches in March. Can they meet this deadline, or you think it will be pushed to 2026? Well, it's so interesting because this dynamic that's playing out here between Trump and the Fed. I mean, how much control is the Fed going to have anymore? Is the Fed going to exist anymore? I feel like they're saving this one for last. Like, let's get a few things done here before we go after the Fed. We're going to save them for a little bit down the road. You know what I'm saying? No, and that's the thing. These assets are moving now with or without Trump, with or without, crypto regs in the U.S. Everything that's happening right now in the U.S. is only more fuel for our fire. XRP's already rolling. It already had momentum. DeFi's exploding on the XRP Ledger right now. Institutional liquidity is already pouring in. But now, we're going to load this thing up with rocket fuel with the institutional liquidity that's going to be coming in through the stablecoin, we're already at a $110 million market cap for RLUSD. Now, mind you, you got Tether is up at what, 90 billion? Let me pull up CoinMarketCap real quick just to fact check myself real quick on Tether's market cap. Tether back in the 4th spot, and it belongs definitely below XRP. It might belong not existing anymore, but hey, we'll let them have their fight. The market cap on Tether is 140 billion. Now, the circulating supply is 140 billion. Yeah. So, and it is pegged to $1 right now. So they are holding the peg there for Tether. So think about this. RLUSD just crossed over 110 million. Here we are in the XRP family cheering on 110 million. Here we are in the XRP family cheering on our little meme coin liquidity. Yay, guys, we're moving hundreds of millions on the XRP Ledger through memes. Yay. And don't get me wrong, this is a hell of a lot better than before. I'm all for it. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, what we're doing right now is playing around and really cute. We're about to make it look ridiculous with what Ripple's about to do with RLUSD in the institutional liquidity coming in through the stablecoin. Add on now the ETFs. With JP Morgan saying 8 billion first year. With Van Eck creating a new mega, a American crypto index fund, XRP gets an allocation that's 50%. Watch what they do, not what they say. Everybody hates it, and that's the thing. We can't even watch what they say about XRP because they don't even talk about XRP, which to me is the tell. Why are they not talking about XRP? Why are they not talking about Ripple? Now, this is changing. This is changing. And it's coming. And I think there's a reason why they haven't jumped the gun. Eric Trump saying now's a good time to buy ETH. I think that what that's about is that they're going to pass regs for stablecoins. Stablecoins, yes. Staking. They're going to pass regs for staking, and it's going to put Ethereum in the clear. And the thing about a lot of these projects that I was concerned about, the SEC just retasked 50 of their lawyers off of crypto enforcement. So even some of these guys that did ICOs that probably did break the securities laws, SEC is probably not going to be going after them at this point, to be honest with you. I mean, is anything ever going to come out of ETHgate? Who knows? I mean, we're still having to sue. We just had to file a lawsuit, Empower Oversight did, to sue for the Office of Inspector General report about Bill Hinman. This is something that's been done for, since last year. And we're having to sue for it still. But they're done. And so for some of these projects that probably did skirt the law, probably did mess up a little bit, might have had a couple missteps, as long as they didn't fraud anybody, as long as they didn't outright scam, they're probably going to be in the clear. Because the resources aren't going to be allocated towards going after these guys. If you made a legitimate effort, and even if you didn't, you kind of knew you were in a gray area, you're probably, like I said, if you're not an outright scammer, I mean, the Sam Bankman-Frieds, Justin Sun still has a lawsuit ongoing. I know everybody's excited about him investing in XCN and Chain, but they forget that he still has a lawsuit going on with the SEC. Now, good news for Justin Sun and good news for Chain and XCN is that he might end up getting out of it at this point. This is an ongoing case, and unless they do have him on doing real manipulation, which is what the charges are, which is why I found it so fascinating, so weird, so sketchy when he came out of the woodworks to say that Chain was manipulating the price of XCN. It's like, bro, you're in a lawsuit with the SEC currently over manipulation. And I'm no friend of the SEC. And I'm innocent till proven guilty. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that he's guilty. But he's got enough money to buy a banana taped to a wall and eat it. I don't know what's all going on with him. I don't know. I can't explain that. Other than it did bring him a lot of attention. For better or for worse, it did, I understand the attention economy. I understand memes. I understand tokenized stupidity and whatever that kind of art was. It's all about perspective, I guess. James Hall, thank you. Thank you, my friend. 5 spot from James. Why are the Trumps big on ETH? ETH is not great and probably soon to be outdated tech. When are you moving to Texas? LOL. James, I love Texas, man. Big fan. Texas has a battle, but it looks like some good things are happening there. Down south, it concerns me, but it's already securing up, right? I love Arizona. It's dangerous down there, though, right? Texas, same thing. But now that we're securing the border, now that we're locking things down, it's a little bit more attractive. There's other reasons why I haven't made the move down there, though, mostly just because so much of our family's up here. So we'll probably keep a base up here, but we are looking at, extending down south at some point, or at least becoming a snowbird. My goal has always been to become a snowbird before retirement and just go spend a couple months down somewhere warm. Whether I set up a base down there or if I kind of just bounce around, I kind of like, being able to be nimble a little bit too. But I do love Texas. I do need to come back down to Texas. Love Dallas. Dallas is popping as far as business and just the activity in Texas in general. It really is. It really is. I mean, you definitely got to keep the 6-shooter on the hip, but I keep the 6-shooter on the hip up here too. So it's nothing different, That's just living in America these days, right? Now, thank God we have a little bit more law and order. But yeah, I love Texas. I'd love to invest in Texas too. Now, your question about why are they big on ETH? I think it's because of the staking. And I think it's because of the DeFi. I don't buy this whole World Liberty Finance, and I don't buy this whole they're into ETH deal. Really, I like to the extent that they're here to make some money. Yeah, but I still don't get. This whole World Liberty Finance deal, I spoke out against it when it happened. I said Trump doesn't need to expose himself to this. The Trump family, whoever was on Trump's crypto team, I think was misguiding them. I do think that whoever is handling the Trump, and it might be Barron. I mean, probably Barron has a big part of it. And I'm sure Barron is doing well, but I think that there's some other people that are getting involved. There's so many people that are trying to get something from Trump. And so this World Liberty Finance deal has been sketchy to me from the beginning. I remain hopeful that he'll, make something positive of it. The meme token will be made something positive of, but it's just sketchy. It doesn't make sense to me. It was unnecessary, and I'm not buying it. There also was some on-chain activity that was posted today showing them loading up the Ethereum on Coinbase Prime, which is an institutional custody service for Coinbase. I think that's Coinbase Prime, I'm pretty sure is what it was. And so people are saying, they're just storing the ETH there. Other people suggesting that maybe they're getting ready to dump the ETH, right? I think that it might be a combination of both. They're getting ready to stake the ETH, or they already are. It looks like World Liberty Finance is a DeFi play. Kind of just, if I could summarize what World Liberty Finance, what it sounds like they're doing, it sounds like they're just trying to have some DeFi programs, and they're really just a DeFi play, which is why they're buying Ethereum, wrapped Bitcoin, all the other kind of Ethereum-centered coins that they're buying. Chainlink too is also, I think they've been buying some Chainlink too. But it's like, who's calling the shots? And the thing that I don't like about it now is now everybody's saying, oh, the Trump family is buying ETH. And I mean, you literally do have Eric Trump out saying it's a good time to buy ETH. I mean, for what kind of return? I don't think it's a good time to buy ETH to make some gains. I do think that ETH will go up this bull run. I don't think it goes to 10K. I don't think it gets close to 10K. I mean, I just don't. This is a different bull run. I mean, if you haven't figured that out by now, where have you been? This is a different bull run. This is why everybody's asking about alt season. Now, we've had alts popping off, and it looks like we're right at the last point of, point of control on the altcoin chart before we move higher. So it looks like an alt season is right around the corner. Maybe that's why Eric Trump says now's a nice time to buy ETH, because it is going to pop off from whatever it went. It was down below 3,000, right? It's at 2,700 right now. And it went all the way down to, 2100. I mean, since the election, ETH had only gone up 73%. Since the election, Bitcoin had only gone up 58%. So like I'm saying, you look at these charts that they, what they've done so far during the second Trump administration, it's 1/10 of what XRP's done. Literally. It's 1/10 of what XRP, XLM, and our other utility cryptos have done. I mean, for crying out loud, XCN did 4,000%. That's why I don't park any of my money in Bitcoin or Ethereum. And why I don't think I think it's a great time to buy ETH if you want to double up. And if you bought that low at 2,100, maybe you can catch nearly a 3x if it goes up to 6,000, 7,000. Like, maybe. And maybe I'll be wrong. I'm open to that too. But like I said, I'm not going to wait around, flip a coin. I will be praying, but I'm not going to pray for my ETH to go up when I know I can make other investments that are just printing gains now that are 5 to 10 times bigger than what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. It just doesn't make sense to me. Not for my portfolio. Maybe for some. For Eric Trump, okay, sure. Let me catch up. We got a couple more super chats that did come in. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. We are taking rapid fire Q&A right now. But yeah, James, thank you for the chat. I'm not buying it. 1970 Legend, thank you for the hundo, my man. You are a absolute legend. Absolute legend. You guys are going to love this. I'm going to show the picture of 1970 Legend of him wearing the Trump XRP shirt. And then we're going to be doing free shipping to Australia for the first 10, 12 orders or something like that. I got to tally up the math. But yeah, my man keeps on giving money to Australia. So at this point, we might be shipping to Australia for a while for free. XRP family, this is what it's about. Michael, thank you for the 20 spot. Thoughts on no tax on American crypto companies? That's why yesterday I'm laughing. How could you be bearish? How could you be selling U.S.-based cryptos when we got no tax coming on them? And that looks like where it's going. I mean, Elon mentioned today that we need to audit the IRS. Buddy Carter submitted the Fair Tax Act of 2025. That's a real bill that was proposed in Congress here to eliminate the income, payroll, estate, and gift tax along with the IRS completely, move the taxing authority over to the states. States will administer and collect. Income, payroll, estate, and gift tax gone. How could you be bearish? How could you be selling off any American crypto? And I even said American stock, the stocks of American companies, many of them are overvalued, but I do believe that there is some good value out there. We're going to respond better from whatever, this tariff trade war. Yeah, it's postponed for 30 days. It might come back. Maybe it will. Who's poised to perform the best? Well, it's going to be American companies that aren't over leveraged. It's going to be American companies that produce real value. It's going to be American companies that can fill in where foreign export had sufficed until now. There's an opportunity there. Now, for the high-flying AI, NVIDIA, the S&P 500, the index on the NASDAQ, I don't see any opportunity there. And I think that they will correct further. And so, yeah, no tax on American crypto companies, very bullish. Very well. What is an American company? We don't know. But once again, the direction that we're moving in, that's the point that I'm taking home. And that's the point that I like to see, is that we're moving in the right direction. The path that we're heading down right now, well, this golden path, the gold brick path here, takes us to the pearl, the pearl in the shell. That's very nice. The purple path takes us right to the castle and the hidden hand waving the white flag. That's the path that we're heading on. What is a US-based crypto? We don't know yet, but it sounds good to me. And at the end of the day, they're looking to make these commodities and currencies. Some will be securities, but they'll be very clear which ones are securities and which ones aren't. And yeah, I mean, you have to understand, Trump doesn't care about crashing the stock market. He's invested primarily in real estate and his businesses. And now they have big bags of crypto, and they have tens of billions of unrealized losses on that. And all the wealth that he's amassed within real estate and his businesses. You look at Elon too, again, and then what he's been saying too about the taxes and the IRS. I mean, I'll go through whatever we have to go through, the temporary bumps, the temporary pain, trade war, terror, you know, a little couple bumps in the road. I can't get a package delivered from China. Can't get some cheap crap. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. When you talk about eliminating income, payroll, estate, and gift, you want to see a boom in this country like we've never seen before? We're not bullish enough, guys. We're not bullish enough. Dennis, thank you. Trump buying up cheap ETH will outperform Bitcoin. That's true. And I retweeted it and I said, alt season confirmed. If it's a good time to buy ETH, it's an alt season is still on. Absolutely. Dennis says RLUSD collateralized to 108% with cash and T-bills. And that's when I said, if the bill that they submit here, in the bill that they include, we have 6,589 viewers between YouTube and X. A couple hundred people with us here on TikTok. Thank you for stopping by. But that's what I was saying, is that if the bill said that the stable coins need to be over collateralized, not 1-to-1, but they need to be backed 105%, that Ripple is in compliance right now because they are over collateralized. Yep. Income tax was never supposed to be permanent. Absolutely. Absolutely. Johnny, I know. I'm so glad that Jake comes out with that 4-digit this year's prediction. Somebody has to. Somebody has to be willing to say XRP to 4 digits this year. I can't jump out on that limb. But God bless Jake. I'm glad that he is. We need somebody to. I just made a prediction of all-time high for January. That was, like I said, at the very beginning, relatively speaking, we are at an all-time high for XRP, or we were. The 16 days closed above $3 is something XRP's never done before. XRP only went above $3 for one day in the blink of an eye. And then it was over. So, relatively speaking, XRP was at an all-time high this month. And 340 on some exchanges was an all-time high as well, too. XRP under $1 this year, nearly a guarantee. Anyone want to bet against this? I bet 2 Bitcoin. It's always these guys. Yeah, always these guys that want to pretend like they're big shots. Oh, I got 2 Bitcoin to bet. And you know, you sit back and you just think about some of these guys, man. I think about some of these fudsters. Some of these, I mean, they were content creators that made their living off of fudding XRP. That was, I mean, that's their whole ego. That's who they are as a person. They've embodied fully being an XRP fudster. Boy, that's got to hurt. That's got to be a tough spot to be in. That's a tough one, you know. 600%. That'll shut somebody up real quick, won't it? And the funny part is that some of them don't shut up. They're still here. I still see them popping around. It's like, what are you guys still doing here, man? Have you issued a formal apology? Because you don't owe it to me. You didn't FUD me out. But you owe it to some people that you did. I mean, think about it. There's some content creators that did give financial advice, who blatantly said, sell your XRP at 80 cents because we're going back below 50. Think about this for a second. I don't give financial advice. I don't tell people to buy or sell anything. I just share what I'm doing. Hey, I'm buying. Hey, I'm selling. This is what I'm doing. I have never told anybody to buy XRP besides my brothers. I tell them what to do. But other than that, I've never told anybody to buy or sell. But these guys were telling all of us, we need to. We have to sell XRP at 80 cents because it's going back to 50. They told us, don't be greedy. They were shaming us. Don't be greedy. Sell your XRP at $1.90. Ripple's about to dump on you, you XRP dummies. And it's going back to 80 cents. It has to go back to 80 cents. Don't be greedy. Imagine being that guy right now. Holy cow. That's rough. Has consequences out here. Consequences out here. There's a reason why they've faded off into the distance. Stu, thank you for the $15. Zach, take my Aussie crap dollars. Stu, I appreciate you, my brother. God bless you, my friend. I need to make it down to Australia. I need to come see you guys. You guys seem like so much fun. They kicked you guys out of there, sent you down to the land down under. It seems like a good story, except it seems crazy. I mean, talking about needing a 6-shooter on the hip. What the heck? Gotta fight off snakes, kangaroos, you guys got everything. I mean, are you guys? I feel like I'd be worried to die every single day in Australia. What, you guys got scorching heat too? Scorpions too? Spiders? Yes, dude, you guys are insane. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Zach, is it true you're 6'5"? Claver said that Zach was 6'5" and towered over him like the Statue of Liberty. So I am a little bit taller. I have been getting my pumps in. I have been working out, but I'm definitely not bigger than Jake. He has got me beat by a lot. But I do got him beat on height by a little bit. But now 68J, he started showing up at these XRP conferences. And I told him last year at this last conference, man, you got to get out of here. Because I used to be the tallest. I think there actually was one other XRP family member that might have been taller than me. There's one other one. But I told Jay, no, brother, you can't be here. Because Jay, he's 6'8". He was a pro ball player. And so he does have me by a few. But yeah, I was the tallest at the first XRP Las Vegas, not anymore. Black Gold says that David Sachs just tweeted back to Brad. Okay, I need to check that out. Do I own any Dogecoin? Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was looking at something else. Yes, I do own Doge. Not much. I don't even care about it. I'm going to dump it all before $1. Absolutely. See you later. Okay, I'm refreshing. What did David Sachs just tweet at Brad? Was it a tweet that Brad did? See, this is the video I was talking about with Trump scooting up the seat here for Netanyahu. Look at that. This is the president of the United States of America. And he's grabbing the seat there for his friend, his bro, Bibby. We got Bibby up in here. Where is this response to Brad? I'm going to read the comments. Did Brad put out a tweet? Don't forget XPR. I'm seeing a bunch more people bring up XPR again. The Proton boys. Brad tweeted out. Okay, let's go. The Proton bros are back. Here we go. This is what happened when the adults in the room speak. Brad Garlinghouse. Any criticism of today's press conference is absolutely missing the forest through the trees. having the chair of Senate Banking, the chair of House Financial Services, the chair of Senate AG, and the chair of House Ag joining the crypto czar to commit to passing legislation for crypto clarity is 100% a big deal and something we haven't seen before. David Sachs with the bullseye. Lock in, folks. Lock in. Yeah, your crypto didn't pump today. Sit down, strap in. Where we're going, you're going to want to stay locked in with us. Brad's spot on. Now, he's nice. I have my criticisms of these guys, but I got to crack off a couple jokes about these old geezers talking about, back in the day, when it first came up, Sam Bankman-Fried wasn't looking too good, but now it's just taken over. These guys couldn't explain a thing about crypto if they tried, but we don't need them to. That's the beauty of this, guys. And this is to Brad's point. We don't need these guys to get crypto. We need them to get out of the way for the people that are living, breathing, and building crypto every single day. That's what made America so great, is that we got out of the way of entrepreneurs and capitalists who are willing to take risk and who put the customer first in effort to bring the most amount of value to their customers. That's who used to win when we had a fair and level playing field. We haven't had that for 100 years, by the way. Please understand that. We haven't had a fair level playing field for over 100 years. As soon as the Fed came in, they started creating bubbles. They started funding bankster wars. After the Great Depression, we started to get the regulations coming in, the SEC, etc. All these things started out as good ideas. SEC, Department of Education. Look at what they've become. It's funny. There was one person that had made a comment earlier on my video that I dropped this morning talking about the Department of Education. And they said how, basically, I was dumb or something for suggesting that we didn't need the Department of Education. And you just simply ask, well, what have they done for us? How is the program working out? And it is a failure. But like I said, even if it were a success, is it a responsibility of our federal government? Per our Constitution, is that what the federal government should be focused on? Or is this something that should be handled by the states? Is this something that should be even more local than the state government, going straight to the local school district and the parents combined with the teachers and staff who are going to be with these children every single day? Is that where it should be? Or should it be managed by some bureaucrat in the swamp? I'll tell you right now that my children, we will not be participating in that one. We will not be getting a participation trophy for that program. I'll tell you that much. Ain't happening over here. It's a failure too, when you actually look at it. And all these, the person said, oh, well, this sounds like the people in rich areas get good education and the people in poor. Look at the school districts. They're shutting down in the inner cities. It's not even safe to have. We don't even have law and order. And you're talking about, we got to have law and order before we can have anything. Not going to matter if a school's there or not. Can the kid walk to school safely? To me, that's the test. Because that's the America that I grew up in. I could walk to school. I could walk to my grandma's. I could walk to my great-grandparents. I was blessed as a kid. Small town America. I couldn't have asked for a better upbringing. I don't come from money, but I come from a strong family. Small town. I was safe out here. In my small town right now, it ain't what it used to be. It's a it's a big difference from what takes place in the inner cities. Nowhere near that, but it's a big difference from the streets that I walked around. Used to get my rollerblades. Me and my buddy, we'd go. I was one of those guys. Still funny to think about. I didn't do skateboarding. Skateboarding was almost too fringe for me, I think. And like I said, I played hockey, so I could rollerblade really well. So we'd go cut it up with the blades at the old skate park. Back in the day, the good old days. Ryan says, I can't even recognize my hometown anymore. That's what I'm saying. I mean, have you, any of you guys got kids? Have you seen how they're trying to teach kids how to do math now? It's the most backwards. I mean, they've got this all messed up. And I'm no educator. It's not my role, right? What I live in is this financial world. This is where I educate. I feel like I am an educator in this world. And that world's really not my deal. But holy smokes, there's only one way that really, we don't have to find 6 different ways to do 2 + 2 = 4. We don't need to overcomplicate this. But somebody in DC decided that this was a good program and a good way to do things, and they sold off some government contract to some person that created the Common Core program, and they probably got awarded some big fat government contract for that. You know, this is what we're cutting and slashing out of our government right now. How could you have a problem with it? Someone said, well, you also live in a liberal ass state, Zach. Yeah, and thank God I don't live in the deep trenches and the deep. I get in and out of these cities. I get in and out. Now, I've been to some of the cities in the Midwest, though. Very nice. Very nice. But I mean, you go anywhere now and it's just, you know, but we're saving this country right now. We're saving this country. 2025 XRP prediction, 1776. Take it to the cold wallet. James. That's the thing, though. There's people that, you know, would hear, you know, Jake talk about 4 digits this year. And they would say, oh, he needs to be shut down. We better stop him right now. And that's why I say that I just love the fact that he's laid that prediction out. Because that's what makes our country great, you know. And, you know, we'll see in the end. And it's okay to be wrong. But what you got to appreciate is standing for something. And, you know, like I said, my prediction was a little off last week. Relatively speaking, we are at an all-time high, or what we were. And we are going higher here soon, so, you know. But once again, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say that the case is over because I need to get the message across to folks that might be on the sidelines and not investing in XRP because they think that nothing's going to happen until the case concludes. Because there's a lot of people saying that. And I get that sentiment. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with saying that, other than we got a lot of people new here that now are still in the camp of, oh, don't invest in XRP now because nothing's going to happen until the lawsuit's done. Well, if you were living under a rock for the past 3 months, then maybe you didn't know, but we did just pump 600%. So don't tell me that nothing's going to happen till the case concludes. I mean, we might not go to $10 till the case concludes. We might not pump further till the case concludes, but you can't say that nothing's going to happen till the case concludes when we just pumped 600%. And that's why I worry about that type of sentiment of kind of just sitting here and saying, oh, nothing's going to happen till the case is done, because I got a lot of people watching me and they might mistakenly think, okay, I don't need to make a move on XRP now. I don't need to get exposure to XRP now. I have plenty of time to invest in XRP. When what's going to end up happening, mark my words, this thing's going to run before the case concludes. And I've already seen them. You guys have to understand, I get to read all the feedback in the comments. And the comments for the past 2 months have been full of people saying that they wish they bought before. They wish they bought sooner. The same thing's going to happen when the headline comes out that the case is over officially. It's officially over. Tell your wife, tell your children, tell everybody. The case is officially over. By then, we'll already have moved. Guarantee it. Guaranteed. We will already have moved. Now, will we move further? Probably. Probably. But there's a big difference from entering XRP when it's at 50 cents and entering XRP when it's at $5 right before the announcement comes out. And we're all sitting here watching XRP pump up to 450 here in the month of February, speculating that the case might be concluding, speculating that the Sunshine Act meeting that comes up next is going to be the SEC versus Ripple settlement, wondering why XRP is pumping, and then eventually it'll come out. Case is over. Case is done. The SEC has voluntarily dismissed it. Ripple won't pay a cent. XRP has been set free. In tandem, Ripple has full clarity on distribution of XRP going forward. We're not talking about a $2.50 XRP by the time that headline hits. I'd bet everything on that. I'd bet everything on that. We will not be at a $2.50 XRP unless we get nuked before that announcement comes out and we're back at $2 or $1. But the world has to come to an end for XRP to break below $2 and stay below $2. But what happens here is you have to understand that when XRP is trading above $3 for 16 days, almost everybody's in profit. Basically everybody's in profit when XRP is above $3. So you got to understand why we will see more and more pullbacks at those levels at 3, 4. We're going to have a big sell wall to break through at 350. Another sell wall will hit at $4. But it looks like we're going to about $4, $4.50 on this initial breakout. At that point, everybody's in profit. People are going to take profit. Excuse me. A lot of people are going to take profit. And, you know, I think that we're going to be looking at this $2.50 buying opportunity, this buying opportunity down to $2, this buying opportunity down below $2 for 10 minutes. Shout out to everybody that scooped up that dip, because you could be doubled up on your investment in the next 30 days if this thing is going to do what I think it does. That's 100% return in less than 30 days if we do hit that $4, $4.50. All you guys that bought at $2, it's a lot higher than any of the XRP that I've bought. But I mean, you know, you're still making money. You're still doubling up in less than 30 days. And I know that's slow money for crypto, right? That's boring for crypto. And I was thinking about this watching the crypto press conference today with these old geezers patting themselves on the back. And I was thinking, this is exactly what's taking place in the boardrooms of the biggest institutions who are getting ready to sell this so hard to us. They cannot wait to sell this and shill us so hard. You think that some of these crypto influencers are shills? You ain't going to see nothing. Or you haven't seen nothing yet. The suits are going to be shilling it with slideshow presentations, and they will sue for the ability to sell these products. That's right. We already see the BlackRocks. We already see them. They're going around now to these investor summits, these investor conferences, slideshow presentation. They're in their suit. The suits are selling it, shilling it with slideshow presentations. And then I think it was Bitnomial that sued the SEC for the ability to launch one of their ETF products. That's how badly they want to sell it. But I was looking at those politicians. No disrespect to our elderly. I don't mean any disrespect by calling them old geezers, but I mean, yeah, come on. I'm sure I'll be kind of moving around and looking the same way when I'm that old. But hopefully at least I have it up here. That's the key part. The boardrooms of these suits of Wall Street, it's the same thing. They went from not understanding it, not getting it, to wait. You're telling me that now I get to sell products to our clients where we can talk about real rates of return of not just 5-10%, We're talking about rates of return of 50, 100%, 5 baggers, 10 baggers. Oh, wow. And so it's going to, I mean, and it's the only way that they stay relevant too. You're no longer relevant, right? There's a reason why this liquidity is leaving out of the traditional stock market, because even the best investments in the stock market, the Meg 7, the tech stocks that have been flying high, the best performers in the stock market barely compare to crypto. I saw that Palantir was up 500% in the past 12 months, or in the last year or something. Yeah, last year or two, Palantir. I mean, that's like one of the top performers. And it's still really, I mean, it's starting to get into the realm of crypto returns. But I'm telling you, these suits can't wait. And it's their only option too. They needed a lifeline. They needed something. This is exactly what they were looking for. You mean now we can tell our clients that we can give them a 20% rate of return conservatively? Right? Look at the products that they're creating. They're creating Bitcoin insurance products where you only get to partake in about, was it 10 or 14% upside? I don't even know if it was that much. It was like you only get 10 or 14% upside, but you get no downside. So they get to collect the difference on that gain, right? While you're stuck only making 14%. Now, of course, they got to cover your butt on the downside. If Bitcoin does go down, they have to cover your butt. But they can't wait to sell these products. Not just stock market, but checking and savings account too. Ryan, that's such a great point. Ryan, thank you so much for making that. Banks see where the cash is going, and they can't make money now on our money. They have to join the game. That's just it. And what did the CEO of Bank of America say? Yeah, that Bitcoin speculation. Yeah. We see that. That's not what we're going to be up to. We'll be on the back end of the infrastructure of the system. That's where we'll be. We'll be on real world asset tokenization. But yeah, we like what you guys are doing with the Bitcoin stuff. It's really cute. Yeah. Good job, guys. You know, meanwhile, they're partnering up with Ripple back in 2016 to figure out how to roll out this new financial system. This has been planned for decades. I mean, we know the earliest versions of the Ripple network go all the way back to 2004 with Ryan Fugger. This isn't just us saying this to sound cool. No, 2004, that's 2 decades. 20 years ago, Ryan Fugger started working on this ledger that eventually became the XRP Ledger. 10 years ago, Chris Larson was showing the world, hey, guys, this nice little Bitcoin thing that's not too efficient, look what happens when we move it on the XRP Ledger in 3 to 5 seconds at no cost. 11 years ago. And here we are, we still got the Bitcoin maxis trying to kick us and fight us. Stu, I appreciate the 15 spot. Travel the world and really see. Travel the world and really see that the Asian countries are not third world. They're probably better than your city. Eye opener. Stu, 100%, brother. 100%. Yeah, once the kids get older, we're planning on venturing off. Yeah, once we get them a little bit older, it's tough to take them down the road to the park, let alone taking them to another country right now. But yeah, down the road for sure. Yeah, and I'm really excited about that. Just getting to see other cultures. I'm big on food. I can't really do much spice and stuff, so I'll probably have some troubles with some of the meals, but I will venture off a little bit into that. But yeah, the culture and just being able to see. I'm big on the infrastructure. Going to see some of these other things that have been built by men and women across the planet. Yeah, we got some good stuff to go see. Definitely. Zach, there are a ton of basic questions that need to be addressed, please. Okay, we're going to hit the 2-hour mark in 6 minutes. So I'll give you 6 minutes, rapid fire Q&A. If you want to drop the basic questions, I'll answer them. Go ahead, rapid fire, please. Fire away. Should I still buy into XRP or hold off? Is XDC a good buy? Yeah, it was a better buy when it was down at 2 and 3 cents, but that's stating the obvious. That's where we picked it up. XDC has already run up nearly to its all-time high. I don't see it breaking 50 cents this bull run. I still think that you have an opportunity. Is it a good buy? I think so. Is it the best buy? I don't have enough confidence to say that. What's my favorite color? That's a question that needs answered. Black gold, absolutely. What happened to H-bar? It'll be first thing tomorrow morning. I have it ready to go. I had a meeting outside the office, which is why I wasn't able to live stream. I was going to do that press conference today. I wasn't able to do that because I had a meeting outside, and then I had forgotten that wifey had some things to go do today, so I was with the children this afternoon. So when I thought that I was going to be able to record it this afternoon, I was actually caught up with the fam, but I have it all ready to go. So I'm going to be recording it first thing tomorrow morning. It'll be dropping first thing, H-bar. And I think that you guys are going to like it. Now, I'll tell you right now, it's not H-bar to $10. It's not H-bar to $100. There's a lot of people that, I was watching and kind of looking around to see, what have some other people said about, 2025 H-bar predictions, like price-wise. Because I was doing a bunch of research for the past few days on the tech, the white papers, the governing council, all the fundamental stuff, which is really, takes quite a bit of time. But then I was listening today, I said, let's go see what have some of the other, some of the other folks said about H-bar this year. And you got folks that are talking about H-bar going up to $3 to $5. I think it's a stretch. You got some folks talking about H-bar going up to $10. I saw somebody's video and they were talking about how real world asset tokenization is set to be at 30 trillion by 2030. If H-bar gets 20% of that market, it'll be however many trillions. And H-bar is going to go up 600x, and it's going to be $100 or something like that. And that wasn't for this year, but that was like down the road. They were saying that, yeah, H-bar is on its way to multiple trillions in market cap. Not this year, but down the road. And the problem with this, guys, and what I've come to understand here, is that you can tokenize all the value you want on the ledger, but really what you want is volume and trading and action on the ledger. Now, the more activity and the more volume and the more value that you're moving on the ledger, that's what's going to move the price up. So you need both. You need the value on the ledger, and then you need the liquidity flowing between the assets too. That's what's going to drive prices higher. If you just tokenize the assets on the chain, that's not necessarily going to make the native asset pump, other than maybe the news comes out that, throw out something silly. BlackRock's going to launch a tokenized gold fund on the XRP Ledger, right? And it's going to be worth $1 billion. You're not going to see the market cap of XRP grow by $1 billion. You might see it actually grow by a lot more, in fact, because it has nothing to do with how much value was tokenized on the ledger. That's not going to move the price. What's going to move the price is that value on the ledger being now liquid on the ledger, moving and trading back and forth every single day. That's what's going to burn the asset, use up the asset, lock up the asset, and drive more people to buy the asset so that they can get demand to these products. That's where the price action comes from. So in the past, I used to do similar calculations. When you're looking at liquidity and you're saying, okay, if we take a portion of SWIFT and we sell it on the XRP Ledger, that's a comparable. That's a comparable. That's not a market cap conversation. That's a liquidity value conversation. And that's what I'm talking about. But that's payments, that's liquidity versus real world asset tokenization. I know that this is the hot thing right now. Every chain is an RWA chain. Like if I could get one thing to the rest of the space right now, stop calling your chain an RWA chain. Everybody's an RWA chain. It's like we can no longer tell who's actually bringing real value and actually bringing real world assets onto the chain because everybody's an RWA chain now. At this point, you're just stating the obvious. Anybody can tokenize anything on most of these ledgers. You can put a meme on there. You could tokenize some gold and put it. Anybody can do anything on the ledger. They're all real world asset chains. Besides Bitcoin, I mean, I guess you could maybe do something. I guess they did the inscriptions. I really don't even know what that was. I put a message on the Bitcoin ledger. I don't even really know what that was. You know, Bitcoin's not a real world asset chain, but basically everything else is. So it's like, it just goes without saying at this point. When I review projects, I'm just going to assume that basically and you know, I'm kind of exaggerating this point, but you get what I'm saying. Now, HBAR, it's a serious tokenization play. But like I said, just because the value is tokenized on the ledger doesn't mean that, you know, if we tokenize $1 trillion on the XRP ledger, the market cap of XRP does not go up by $1 trillion. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. It could end up going up by more. Because all this comes down to is somebody willing to pay a higher price for the asset. Ask yourself this question when you think about your coin going to a high price. Is somebody willing to pay $5 for your XRP? I'll tell you right now that the ETF buyers will be. And that's one thing I'm going to be talking about tomorrow with my HBAR deep dive, is that Canary Capital ETF. That's a big deal. Now the Mega 10 crypto index launched today by Van Eck, that didn't include HBAR. And I noted that in this morning's update. I said, guys, this is a problem. It's not really like the end of the world, but I would have liked to see HBAR in there. I figured that HBAR would be in a top 10 American crypto fund. I saw somebody in one of their HBAR predictions, they were talking about HBAR going into the top 5 coins. I was like, it's a nice project. I own some. And the thing is, people can point out my bias. That's fair. I'm always going to be honest with you. You know, when I do a deep dive on a project, I'll tell you whether or not I bought some. I'll tell you what price I bought it at. And I'll tell you, you know, whether or not it's just a momentum trade or whether it's a long-term hold. But, you know, something that I noticed is in one of the videos I watched, they were in multiple of the videos I was watching, they were comparing it to XRP. And I just thought, how funny is that it's not just me. I compare every blockchain company to Ripple. I compare every digital asset to XRP. I compare every blockchain or ledger to the XRP ledger. They're the standard. They're the standard. And in my opinion, they are the best. And clearly I'm not the only one, because I saw a bunch of other people suggesting that, you know, comparing it to XRP, you know, talking about HBAR going into the top 5, talking about HBAR getting, you know, 20 or 30% of the tokenization market. I think that that's a stretch, but I also think that people are confused about how that impacts price directly. It's not a direct impact to price. The news and the perception that, wow, now $1 trillion is tokenized on our ledger, that could cause the market cap to actually grow by more than $1 trillion. That's what people don't understand. And we've been breaking that down with the market cap multiplier. As soon as somebody's willing to pay $5 for the XRP, well, every XRP is worth $5. All it takes is one person to pay $5. All of our XRP is now worth $5. We calculate the market cap and we think that XRP is worth whatever that is. But seriously, ask the question when you're looking over these cryptocurrencies, who's willing to pay $5 for an HBAR? Who's willing to pay $200,000 for a Bitcoin? Who's willing to pay $10,000 for an ETH? Comments, questions, couple more minutes, then I got to wrap it. The Standing, thank you for the 20 spot. Thanks for all your work. Two quick things. One, Sachs mentioned in the presser, the wealth fund is a separate thing not related to crypto. Yes. Two, thoughts on Ondo. It seems like a corporate fave. Keep on pressing. Yeah, I was looking at the chart on Ondo. I don't like buying things at all-time high, but Ondo has moved very well here. I just, and like I've been breaking down here, the tokenization plays big. Does it translate to the price of Ondo going up? Well, you know, so far it's had a good year, right? This coin, if I go to the all-time chart for Ondo, the all-time high was 2 months ago at 214, and right now here it is at $1.36. You know, if I look at the past month, it's chopping sideways, down 12% in the last month. You know, it did pop up here above $2, and it was down at, 62 cents at the election. So it had similar gains to XRP, not quite as much, not as much of a gain as XRP, but it did have a good run. Right now, I'm looking at this all-time chart. It only goes back to last year when the coin was launched. They control about 80% of the tokenized T-bill market right now. They have a really good lock on it. One thing that I'm looking at right now, though, is the circulating supply is 3 billion and the total supply is 10 billion. And I'll tell you right now, too, that one of my red flags for Hedera is that token unlock schedule that doesn't exist. One of the red flags that I'm going to mention tomorrow in the HBAR deep dive is that the governing council, at a whim, gets to decide the token unlocks. Are they going to be responsible? I don't know. I looked at the unlock schedule. That foundation keeps on getting tokens. And there's rumors that there's going to be some more big unlocks around the corner for HBAR as well. They need to do an escrow like Ripple did. And this is why I say why I compare everything to Ripple and XRP. It's the standard. Every project needs to have an escrow of some sort. They need to be transparent. And a lot of projects do have some sort of time lock release. And I understand with HBAR that yes, as the tokens get released to the governing council and to the foundation, that there's lockup periods, and that, for development and ecosystem growth and all the same story on why projects release and dump more tokens, right? It's just, it'd be nice to have a schedule. That's all I'm asking for. Just a nice little schedule. The other thing that I was looking at in my deep dive research on HBAR is you have some governing council members that are approaching the end of the time that they're allowed to be in the council. You can be in the governing council for 3 years for 2 consecutive terms. Or sorry. You can serve for 2 consecutive terms and they're 3-year terms. So you can serve for 6 years. There are some members of the governing council that are approaching the end of their time. Now, the reason why this is a little interesting to me, and it's going to be something I'm going to watch, is because I want to see how they behave as this time approaches. Because think about this. If they no longer can be in the governing council, they can no longer participate. They still could maybe stake some of their HBAR, I guess. I didn't look this far. I don't know if they can still stake their HBAR. They might not be able to stake it for governance, for voting, but I would assume that they would still be able to stake it, But what keeps them around? That's my question. If they no longer can serve in the governing council, are they going to try to catch some exit liquidity before they dip? We just have to ask these questions when we make these investments. Now, I will say this. I would like to admit, guys, there's a lot to catch up on. You know, when I start to look into these projects, I don't just, pull up, look at the chart and say, okay, let me throw out a H-bar prediction with some clickbait, and that'll be my H-bar deep dive. Our community's investing millions of dollars, and I don't give financial advice, but I know that people are hanging on me providing information that helps them make their own decisions. They're not looking to me for financial advice, but you guys are looking for me to find the red flags that'll save your bags. You guys are looking to me for you to find where you should place your exit targets. Or you guys are looking to me to find which products, which projects might be worth holding on to long term. And that's a short list. But there's a lot to catch up on. There's a reason why I've been putting out XRP content every single day for 4 years. There's always something happening. There's always something moving. There's always new developments. There's always a new riddle to solve. I mean, some of these other projects have a lot to catch up on, and they don't even have the riddles and the conspiracy theories and a lawsuit. That's what makes the XRP story so interesting. But I start to dig into some of these others, and I just, I know where to look to find the red flags. I'm very good at that. I think that sometimes I'm almost too critical of projects, and it keeps me from making investments that at least I could have made some money. But once again, I'm not here to run around, chasing the next green candle, like throwing darts at the wall. We move really, really, really tactically. We move very tactically, at least I do. And many in our community move very tactically with a consistent and repeatable strategy. That's the key to your model investing in cryptocurrency. Your program needs to be repeatable and ideally scalable. Otherwise, we're just going to the casino and we're throwing darts at the wall, blindly making our bet. And that's a tiresome hustle right there. Trading in and out at the casino. Like I said the other day, the crypto casino doesn't even serve you a drink while you're gambling. At least at the casino, they'll bring you an adult bevy. Zach looks like Chris Pratt. Some people have been saying that. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Is XCN part of the bull run? Well, the sucker just pumped 4,000%. Absolutely. Now, is it going to keep going? That's the question, right? And I think it will. I think it will. I got my targets. All I will say on my XCN exit is it's before all-time high. That's all I'm going to say. My exit on XCN is before all-time high. That's all I'm going to say. And also, I should note that I've already exited 75% of my bag. And that was too early. I didn't time it perfectly. But I don't sit around wishing and thinking and kicking myself, oh, wow, I could have made this much more. No, I don't even think about that. We made the money. We took the money. And we ran. It is pump season, guys. Damn it, Zach, you make me need a whiskey at 1 a.m. Well, I have such a good time here with you guys. It's easy for me to hang out here all night. Let's do a few minutes of questions here, and then we'll wrap it up. I know I said that 17 minutes ago. Let's do a few more minutes. Yeah, I was making a point about these pumpers. Stay safe, please. Stay safe. What's happening, and you're seeing this on Coinbase. Coinbase is listing some low cap gems, we'll call them. These are projects that are very easy to pump. It only takes a few thousand people. It only takes a little bit of liquidity. These are low liquidity coins. And so as soon as some buyers come in, it starts to jack that number up quickly on the chart. And so you're seeing it, and be careful. I mean, obviously in the memes, that's a dog eat dog world PvP game. They definitely gets bloody. Definitely. Everybody knows that going in. But I think that you have a lot of new investors who are kind of just like, and this is the part that's frustrating when you try to educate people on how to actually research projects and being able to see the discrepancy between the fundamentals behind a project versus when a project just has some hot narratives and it has some momentum. And it's okay to trade that. Like I said, momentum trades are great. That's what we're looking for, right? But there's a big difference between understanding the real fundamentals behind a project versus, hey, this is the hot thing right now. This coin is pumping because of stories from 2015 and news articles from 2016 and partners and early investors from 2015 who've actually already made their exits. But the coin is pumping now because people are still confused that they're partnered up with BlackRock, that they're partnered up with JP Morgan. No, that's something different. And I'm talking about XCN right now. These narratives about NASDAQ and Citigroup and Capital One and Visa all still being invested in Chain and XCN. When I did my digging, I can't find anything in the current documentation on Visa B2B Connect that has anything to do with Chain. Now, some people said, hey, you should have waited till the white paper came out. Well, I had enough to present my deep dive on XCN and the company Chain, what I could find up until now. And I did say that I will do a follow-up. I haven't read through the white paper. I've looked a little bit into it, the new white paper and the new plan with XCN. It's going to become like its own layer 3. And I really got to look into this because I don't really get what this means. It's going to be secured on Base, and then it's going to be secured on Arbitrum? I don't know if it was Arbitrum or something else. But it's going to be its own layer 3, secured on layer 2, still part of Ethereum. We start to do too much of this. I go like this. I say, thank you. Cheers. Have fun with it. You know, and I'm joking, but, you know, it looks, I'm making my joke, but let me say this. That's what it needs. And what they need is this company Chain needs to get more transparent. Who is the CEO of this company? Who's behind this company? Who's working at this company? Where are you guys based out of? Are we setting up an office in DC? Because that's who I want to be invested in. That's what Zinfin's doing right now. They were outside the US primarily. Now they're coming in. They're setting up shop in DC. That's who I want to be investing in. I don't like, and the thing is, people say, well, Bitcoin got up to 100,000 without a CEO of the company. Well, yeah, but for XCN, Chain is the biggest developer and really the only developer and builder within the ecosystem that I can find. So if I can't see who's working there, who's working at all? Or do we have early insiders who are looking to find exit liquidity? And so we're going to pump this coin up, and I think you're going to see this on a bunch of old ERC20 tokens. The same thing's going to happen with some of these old projects. You still have so many new people coming in and so many lazy people who don't want to do the real research. And they say, wow, this company's still partnered up with all these people. They don't take the time to actually click on the logo of Tiffany and Company. And you go read the article from 2022. And you go read that the big institution, the brand that trusts Chain, did one NFT drop in 2022. Some apes. They did a collab between the apes and Tiffany and Company, and Chain helped them do it. And it's still on the website here in 2025. And it's the same for the rest of the partners. Miami Heat, I think they might have done one with the Dolphins, some other sports team. Citigroup, Visa, NASDAQ, all early investors that got in on the ground floor in 2014. And then they partnered up with Adam Ludwin, the CEO of Chain, as he went around saying that he was building the infrastructure for these institutions, which he was. That was true. And that's what helped pump that thing up. And they were able to sell it off to Interstellar, basically Lightyear, which ended up becoming Interstellar in 2018. They were resold off again. And what I believe this whole thing with Justin Sun was, he was promised early tokens or had a deal that was done with Chain back in 2022. Because remember what came out. They said that this was a dispute over 2022. Well, why was Justin Sun saying that they were manipulating the price of the coin now if this was a dispute over 2022? And what the heck would they have to dispute going back to 2022? Would it be maybe that Justin Sun was going to get a big bag? Chain was going to get listed, or XCN was going to get listed on HTX. And then in 2023, the SEC files a lawsuit with Justin Sun for manipulation. And so maybe Chain said, hey, maybe we're not going to give you those tokens. Maybe we're not going to. I'm just speculating. Innocent till proven guilty. But that was one of the sketchiest things that I've seen in crypto lately. When Justin Sun came out of the woodwork to say that they were manipulating the price. 24 hours later, Justin Sun shuts up, and now I'm on board. Come on in. Sketchy business. Still will run, though. Don't get it twisted. XCN's still going to run. I still hold a bag. But like I said, I'm going to be taking my profits before it gets to all-time high, just to be safe. Just to be safe. I feel like Zach lets his emotions get in the way sometimes. His love for Daddy Trump makes me weary sometimes, but he makes some points that trigger my noggin sometimes. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you to think. And as I said at the very beginning, there's a reason why I started this episode here tonight by bringing up the $9 trillion of debt that has to be refinanced. And by pointing out that, hey, Trump's got some moves, he's doing some deals. Let's see, address this one. And don't think, and you heard me criticize World Liberty Finance and Trump's involvement in crypto. I don't worship Trump, and I don't consider him Daddy Trump. But I will admit that some of this does get me a little bit excited to see. Some of this does get me, some of this does put a smile on my face. I wouldn't be disingenuous and say that I'm not having a good time. Stu, thank you. Breaking news: Gaza has bid for the 2036 Olympics. Sorry, Zach, couldn't resist. I couldn't believe. I was telling my wife at dinner tonight. I said, "Babe, just today." The ridiculousness that I'm watching. This is unbelievable. We got Elizabeth and Chucky Schumer having a full meltdown like a toddler tantrum out in front of DC. We're shutting down USAID. We're going to shut down the Department of Education. Everybody at the CIA has been served a notice and a severance offering. What was the other one? We're slashing and cutting the EPA. 1,100 employees at the EPA. We just cut off China. No more mail from China, unless it's letters and flats. So your pen pal in Hong Kong, you're good. No packages though. Okay. What was the other one? Elon Musk asked if the Doge should audit the IRS. And then I showed her the clip of him scooting in the chair for Bibi Netanyahu. I said, babe, look at this guy. You know, just a nice guy here helping out Bibi. And then I showed her a clip. He said, I forget what he said. Gosh, I got to find this clip. He got asked by a reporter at the press conference today, and he says, that's a beautiful accent. He says, you got a beautiful voice, a really beautiful accent. The only problem is I couldn't understand a word you said. But good luck, and may peace be with you, or something like that. I was like, what is going on here? But I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It's unbelievable. Canadian Bossa Nova says merch is dope AF. Hey, I appreciate you, my friend. Guys, this collection just went live on the website yesterday. This is the bear by the fireplace. Let me give you a full visual on it. Right down here, you got the king just sitting outside, all lonely. And he's watching the knight in the rocket ship. The knight's in the rocket ship going up towards this star. And the bear's just sitting by the fireplace with his s'mores. Got the stockings up on the mantle. We also got the carousel up on the mantle. That's an interesting one. The calendar, the 2022 calendar. This picture was dropped December 23rd, 2021. This is the Christmas 2021 update from the bear, whoever the bear is. And like I said, just when you don't want to believe in the riddles, just when you think, gosh, am I crazy? Maybe I do need to get checked into a facility. How is it possible that Mr. Poole put out this post 4 years ago to the day at 22:38 timestamp? How about that? 22:38. I remember back when I did decodes, Ripple was number 38 on the CNBC disruptor list. And I remember that I pointed out that 38 was sacrifice in Gematria. I remember back in the day when I used to do the decodes. 22:38 timestamp. How many coincidences before it's mathematically impossible that Mr. Poole posts this? Sorry, we are experiencing technical difficulties. February 4th, 2021. Timestamp 22:38. How? Why? Why does this exist? Why is this a thing? Why is this happening? One of my favorites. Did you receive the message? We don't even really know what the message was. But the decode the decode told me to load the hell up on XRP. Big time. Big time. I don't know what it means. I don't do decodes anymore. I got children. I don't spend any more times on the decodes. But you just wonder, why is this who took the time? The Mr. Poole account, the Ripple Riddler account, the Bearable Guy 123 account. Why does this exist? What is happening? Future proves past. Future proves past. Guys, I'm out of here. I'm having fun. I had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. Thank you so much. Everything's available at my website, zachrector.com. I couldn't do it without your guys' support. Every single day, we're going to continue showing up for you guys. Tomorrow, I will be dropping the deep dive on HBAR. I have made a new playlist on my YouTube titled 2025 Coin Reviews. And tomorrow, I'm going to be giving you my 2025 HBAR prediction, along with talking about HBAR from a fundamental basis. the outlook as far as considering HBAR for a long-term hold, as well as giving you my 2025 bull run price predictions, which is really what everybody wants to know, right? Hey, skip the fundamentals, Zach. Tell me, should I buy it now, yes or no? And how high is it going? Give me the exact price. I'm going to give you something. Stay tuned. And if you appreciate what we're doing, can you guys make sure that you've hit that thumbs up? If you don't like what we're doing, can you make sure you please hit the thumbs down? And either way, tell us how you really feel about it. God bless each and every one of you guys. ZachRector.com. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.